Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing super well. I have got myself a little decaf oat. I'm going to say this is probably a cappuccino, but how gorgeous are these mugs? My mother-in-law gave them to us for a little housewarming present, and we've got one in blue and one in green with matching coasters, and I just think they're like the perfect size mug. I just think a mug is so important. And I've not been drinking coffee much at all recently, but I had a little craving today and I made one and I am thoroughly enjoying it. So I'm going to be sipping on this whilst we go through today's video, which is all around how I avoid burnout as a solopreneur, as someone who is running my own business on my own without a team. I have had team members in the past before, but at the moment I don't. And it's one of those like classic sort of catch-22 type questions where, yes, I could definitely bring someone on, and I'm very fortunate to have the funds to be able to do that, the income to be able to hire someone else. But where my business is at the moment and kind of what my plans are for the next 6 months, I don't feel like I need that person at the moment. I'm quite on top of things. I'm in a really good position where there's a lot of organic flow and momentum and there's exciting opportunities, and I just don't feel like I need a team member at the moment. But I just thought I wanted to come on here. If you're someone who either is running a business or maybe you're just juggling a lot, maybe you're a mother and you've got a part-time business as well, it's for you. Someone who is juggling a lot and has a tendency to take on more than perhaps they are capable of and is looking for some guidance on how to create more sustainable success, how to keep achieving and feeling fulfilled and hitting your goals without compromising on your well-being. And that is what I am all about. For any of you that don't know me, I am a mindset performance coach and business strategist working with female founders and high-performing women to help them achieve sustainable success. So this means how achieving their goals, having a really fulfilling life in all senses of the word, and doing so in a way that feels good to them, without having to compromise their weekends, without having to sacrifice their social plans, without feeling burnt out at the end of every month. It's really sustainable success that feels good, because when you're thriving, when your energy is high, when you have a positive mindset, I promise you, things flow to you. You become a magnet for more things that you desire. You become a magnet for opportunities. People want to be around you. People come to you wanting to hang out with you or work with you. So that's something to keep in mind. But I am speaking from a place of having gone through burnout. Ironically, at the very early stages of setting up my business, so probably about 5 years ago now, when I had left my corporate to have more freedom. And the irony was I had the least amount of freedom I ever had before, because I was acting like the strictest boss I'd ever had. I was working nonstop through the weekends, late nights, which, look, there is an element of that is required when you are starting out and setting up a business. You know, we can't sit around and expect things to happen. But from my own journey now, I recognize the huge importance of things like boundaries, of saying no, of protecting your energy, not just your time. And so I want to go into a few of those today to help anyone who's listening, even if it's one tip that you come away with, because if, like me, you are here for long-term success and you are in your career or your business knowing that you want long-term trajectory of growth and acceleration and hitting your potential, then this is for you. And maybe you're the other end. Maybe you find yourself procrastinating a lot and you can't quite build up that momentum. Once again, this is for you, because these habits, these tools, or these tips that I'm going to be sharing are all around sustained high performance, which is something that I speak about a lot. And in simple terms, that's like, how can you keep operating at your best for as long as possible, rather than like going all in and then burning out and needing to be signed off work or take a huge break because you simply don't have the energy anymore. So point number one, and I've got my 5 points listed on my phone because I wanted to consolidate a good list for you. Point number one is planning in a way that works for you. So what I mean by that is, and if you watch my last video, by the way, which was all around the importance of having a plan, this ties in quite nicely. But it's so important to have a plan so that you know every day, every week, every month, what your focus is, what your priorities are, so that you're not going week to week scrambling and feeling like you're behind. Are you someone who enjoys a daily to-do list, or do you like a weekly to-do list? Do you want a digital planner or a physical planner? I'm someone who loves Google Calendar and Notion as a way of keeping on top of my daily tasks, having reminders, and Notion is amazing for creating tables. So I work on like a 3-month basis. So I plan my quarters. So June, July, August, for example, which we're in at the moment, I have a plan for each of those months, and I track my wins in those months. I track my revenue that I'm generating. I track things like tasks I've got to do, events that I've got coming up, workshops that I've got to plan for, so that each week on a Monday and on a Friday, I check in with those goals and that monthly focus so I can make sure that I am staying on track. I am flexible at the same time, so I don't plan out every single minute of the day 9 to 6, which is something that I used to do. And I block out things like my lunch break or a task that I've got to do, like go and return something or go to the library or go and do the food shop. I create white space in my weeks using my Google Calendar so that I am planning in a way that works for me and in a way that I know is protecting my energy. Because if you're working nonstop and you're not putting in time for you to recharge, to get fresh air, to change locations, that is not going to lead to sustainable success. This leads nicely onto point number 2, which is managing your energy, not just your time. Now, let me know below, do you manage your energy at the moment? Are you actively doing things that give you a break to recharge yourself? Because if you imagine ourselves like a battery, as the days go on, as the weeks go on, especially as women, we work in 28-day cycles, not like men who have a 1-day cycle. We need to protect our energy so that we are feeling at our best as much as possible throughout the weeks. We don't have unlimited amount of energy. So when are your peak focus windows? Like, I know I work best in the morning. So I get my most my most brain consuming, energy demanding tasks done in the morning, because I know that's when I'm at my best in terms of focus, clear-headed, decisiveness. When are yours? And what tasks are you doing in that time? And you want to schedule this deeper work around when your energy is at its best. And if you recognize that one day your energy is lower, maybe you've had a later night, you've been away, you've had a busy week at work, don't push through that, because that's not going to support you in the long run. Okay, of course, there are going to be times when you don't have a choice, but recognize whether that's something that you're doing regularly or whether you can be more intentional about how you're planning your weeks based on your energy levels. And this is a reminder, rest is not lazy. Rest is not for people who are weak. Rest is as important as nutrition that we give our body. We eat healthy, nutritious foods and drink water to give ourselves physical energy. We need rest to give ourselves mental energy. If we're non-stop and we're never switched off, it's no wonder that we find it harder to make decisions, or that we procrastinate, or that we become more sensitive. So rest needs to be part of your energy management, not just your time management. Okay, point number 3, saying no and having boundaries. This has to be one of the most important ways that I avoid burnout as a solopreneur. Because if you're overcommitting to tasks or events or social occasions, not only are you going to run out of energy, you're going to become resentful because you're giving away too much of your time away from your business or your priorities or your family, if you're a mother, for example, watching this. So how do you avoid overcommitting? Are you good at saying no? Do you have evenings or mornings in the week that are blocked out exclusively for you? You don't have to have an excuse to why you can't meet up with a friend or you can't go to that event. This is sacred time for you. the way that I always describe it, and it's a little bit like that analogy of put your life jacket on first before helping others when you're on a plane, is because if you are operating at 50% of your energy level, you can only give 50% of yourself. So you're showing up as a half version of the best version of you. Whereas if you prioritize yourself by having boundaries, by saying no, you're giving yourself the best chance to show up as the best version of you. And a mindset shift here is thinking that it's not selfish because you want to show up as best as possible. You're here for long-term success. And if that means having to say no or canceling a plan because you know that zooming out longer term, that is what you need, that's actually the most important. There's that phrase, slow down to speed up. It's okay to slow down because in the long run, you can speed up if you're protecting your energy and setting boundaries. These could be things like when you're available to be contacted if you're a business owner. It could be really clear on your working hours. It could not be responding to work emails or anything to do with client-related work on the weekends. These are all small examples of boundaries, but are ways that you are able to protect your time and energy as someone who is juggling a lot of things. The fourth thing to consider when we're looking at avoiding burnout and creating this sort of sustained high performance mindset and energy is mindset and motivation. Now, with clients, one of the common things I see with women who come to me looking for support to help them pick back up momentum or reach their next level of growth in their business is they've lost a bit of clarity on their why. Now, this is applicable for any goals, whether you're working towards a fitness goal or a personal goal or a health goal. What's the why behind the reason you're doing it? So let's say you want to grow your business to £100,000, or you want to run your first marathon, or you want to get stronger and tone up. Why do you want to do that? Keep asking yourself why, because there's always more depth to it than we necessarily realize. And if we don't really know why, then it's not surprising we don't have the motivation. But if we're really connected to that why, that's going to give us that passion, that courage, that motivation to keep moving, to say yes to the things that are important and no to the things that aren't, to prioritize the tasks that are going to move us closer, and say no more confidently to the things that don't align. So what is your why? With all these things that you're juggling, with the bigger vision that you're working towards, get really clear on that. Maybe spend a little bit of time journaling on why is it that I want this? Keep asking why, and it'll be amazing what you unravel. And if you're feeling overwhelmed or demotivated, it's okay to take a step back, because oftentimes overwhelm comes from trying to do too much at once and being too much in it. Whereas if we zoom out and take a bit more of a strategic view on the situation, the options, different perspectives we can take, listing everything out and taking one thing at a time, suddenly that overwhelm is alleviated. And that's a little bit like what I was saying in my last video about having a plan. It felt overwhelming because I didn't have a plan. I was talking about my YouTube video consistency and how I'd been a little bit slack. And it's because I didn't have a plan. Whereas now I have a plan, I've got back on track, I'm clear on my why as to why I want to create videos, why I want to build this community, why I love doing this element of my work, that the passion is back and the overwhelm isn't there anymore because I have a clear path that I'm following that I know is getting me closer to that end goal or the end vision that I'm working towards. And if you need a bit of a reset, some of the things that I like to do are journaling, going for a walk, changing the physical environment that I'm in, going to a coffee shop. Sometimes just things like having a shower, changing your clothes. It's all about shifting your energetic state. If you're feeling a bit sluggish or low energy, it's often that we need to shake up our energy physically. So what do you know works well for you? Things like music is a really good way of shifting energy, or being in nature, or doing some exercise. Any of those things can be really, really effective to help you get more focused, build motivation, and get your mindset back on track. Okay, we're coming up to the final point of how to avoid burnout. And honestly, it's about people that you are surrounded by. So who are you spending time with? Are these people those who build up your energy and make you feel good, or are they people who drain your energy? Burnout, especially if you're running a business, is very common. And oftentimes, from my own experience, it's because we're not spending enough time with people. We're at home on our own, working super hard, saying no to social plans in the belief that we've got to work harder so that we can become more successful. And this could be the same if you're a new mum or setting up a business or in a corporate job that's super busy. Like, the people that we surround ourselves by has such an impact on our energy and our mindset. So do a bit of an audit. Like, who do I spend most time with? When I leave these people, do I feel uplifted, or do I feel drained and anxious and worried? Because we want to be spending time with people who champion us, who celebrate us, who push us out of our comfort zone, who have our best interests at heart. And that's actually why quite a lot of people come and work with me, is because I am someone who will be in their corner, championing them, helping them get clear on their vision, no judgment. My goals, my clients' goals are my goals. Like, I want my clients to hit their goals, so I'm going to do all that I can to help them get there. So that's also something to keep in mind. Like, if you are looking for that sort of support and you are feeling a bit overwhelmed and on your own, who could you reach out to? Is it a mentor? Is it a coach? Is it finding a community near to where you live of like-minded people who are going through a similar situation? There are so many options out there. It's just about identifying what is that need and who is that person that's going to help me shift from where I am now to that place that I really dream of being. Because I can promise you it's so much closer than you think. It's just about shifting your mindset, changing your actions, and protecting your energy so that you can really show up and thrive as many days as possible. So I would really encourage you to try one of these shifts. Take one of the above, implement it into your week next week, and let me know how you get on. Let me know below which one of those 5 you're going to choose. And if you're thinking, maybe I want a coach, maybe I want someone to be in my corner, maybe I want a side partner to help me on this next phase of my journey, then reach out. I will leave the link below. And let me know what you thought of this video. If you enjoyed it, I would really appreciate you giving a big thumbs up. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and ask me any questions. I'm honestly here to help. I love connecting with you guys. My Instagram is @NicolaCharlotteCoaching if you want to send me a voice note. And otherwise, I will see you in next week's video. Lots of love.